So guys, Tinubu had a meeting with OPS, that is organized private sector business owners, He had a meeting with them and tried to tell them what his intentions are, what he's going to do if given the mandate to become the next president of Nigeria.
As the voice, let's believe before in various ways and you own your words. Each time I say or hear it, I become humbled by the enormity of what we face. Yet, I'm also inspired that we can surmount this great challenge. From its very inception, our political economy has been imbalanced and in need of major reform. Our political economy is much too dependent on the export of raw materials or unfinished goods and the import of increasingly expensive finished products. Over the course of the time, gains from natural resource exports will prove largely insufficient to meet the rising cost of imports, let alone support even the most basic demand of modern democratic governance. The time is now to cure this lapse. It's a disease. We must cure it. And time is of essence.
So guys, please don't allow yourself to be deceived by this APC government. Consider the state Nigeria is today. Consider the condition of people. I don't know if you came across this video that was released recently about kwashiorkor, that is malnourished children in the northern parts of Nigeria. When I saw this, I was shaking. I was like, are there still cases like this in the world, not to talk of in Nigeria? This is where this APC government has brought Nigeria to. Honestly, we need a change and we need different people. We need different people. We are tired of this, we are tired of these old politicians. Please, I want you to just take your time in your normal conscience, in your good conscience. I want you to sit down and consider all the promises that were made by APC, before they came into power, those promises. And today, they have come up again with a new manifesto, promising us a lot of things. And that is why some people will tell you that, yes, manifestos are good, but sometimes you ignore them because they get professionals to write these things down and they come out on the podium and read them out. Most times, they don't even know the contents of what they have as a manifesto. They only come out and read it out and try to elaborate on what they've read, not because those things are really their intentions.
As a regime protector, not a protection for the people. So yes, you need more men, food, we need to employ more people, it creates jobs, gives us more policing presence, but we've not heard anything around that. But again, finally on Tinubu, I think he has one of the most robust government-based economic policy. He's talking in terms of industrial policy. The debate all over the world is that when a government runs industrial policy, meaning selecting who wins and loses, a corrupt government will make it inefficient. So talking to the private sector and talking about industrial policy, they will ask themselves, experience in Lagos, where there's allegation of state capture, does it encourage us that where the state will now use subsidies, use licensing to select sectors to develop, do we have a guarantee that the government that has been notorious, or at least reportedly so, for state capture, do we trust it to galvanize private sector, or shouldn't we have normal liberal market-based policy selection? So I think his message is great in terms of government stimulating development, but it lacks credibility based on the history of Lagos State, where we've seen significant report of state capture.
And Somna Sambo, he did not only speak to the business community, he spoke to them in Lagos. Some would say this was very strategic, and he didn't fail to point out, changed Lagos. Some may debate that, and said to them, I have a bigger job, yet same. I want to be president and change Nigeria. What did you make of that message?
Yeah, Lagos has always been the center of commerce in the country, and having the former Lagos State Governor getting back home to talk about how to revamp the economy is something that I think it's well received by a lot of Nigerians, considering that he had done certain experiments, being the governor of Lagos then, that were well acceptable in terms of restructuring, for example, the revenue generation of the state. Now, if you look at some of the people present at that private sector meeting, it was actually a very great outing. We had lots of top players in the organized private sector in Nigeria, and from what we have seen, from the blueprint being presented, it looks enticing. But I will appeal to Nigerians not to allow politicians to sway them into not looking at the details. We need to fine-tune the details that we are seeing from people like Tinubu. If you say you want to restructure the economy, in what ways exactly are you thinking of providing economic stimulus to revamp small businesses? Tinubu is known with increasing taxes wherever he finds himself. What is he going to do to ensure that we don't have more tax burdens against Nigerians? Are we thinking of widening the tax net or just increasing the taxes? Because if you're thinking of increasing taxes without widening the taxes, without widening the tax net, then you're going to see massive rebellion by Nigerians. And you would have seen that some of his proteges have gone on to become some leaders within the Nigerian economic system under the APC-led federal government. Look at Fowler, for example, who was in charge of the FIRS. I mean, some of the policies of Bola Tinubu that he implemented in the FIRS, and of course that got him into troubled waters. So as Tinubu is bringing these policies, let's begin to look at them. There are very good things that he also offered there, and when I listen to some of the things being proposed, I actually feel that it's worthy of being given a second thought. But when you talk about recruiting more people, for example, into the military, just like himself and Rabi Musa Kwankwaso are saying, and I want to wonder, is it that they don't intend to resolve the problem of insecurity? That's why they want to invest more human beings in it, because most of the security forces we're seeing across the world are, security forces that are so, reorganized in such a way that they are technology based, rather than you having so many people manning, so many security institutions. So I think we need to start looking back at some of those projections that they are offering. I don't think it's right for us to say we need so many security personnel. What we need is smart security forces that are strong on intelligence, that are strong on networking, coordination, because one of the major problems that we have in our security system.
So guys, please, I'm begging you, if you're a Nigerian, wherever you are, please vote wisely. Vote wisely, and that is why the youths are saying, allow us to test Peter Obi. Tinubu has not displayed the key leadership skill that Nigerians are looking out for now, because, he has monopoly over Lagos. The way he bought Lagos and bought institutions and bought everything in Lagos, honestly, it is so difficult for any political party to penetrate. Yes, Peter Obi has brought so much change. You can agree with me that the way people are embracing Labour Party, it wouldn't have happened that quick if not for somebody like Peter Obi that interrupted the political space. He's the one that decides what happens in Lagos. You can't change it. Even in the whole of Southwest, Tinubu has strong influence. He has so much, placed himself like a god that you cannot do without him. But I tell you, the narrative is changing. Things are really changing because people are waking up to reality that if we continue this way, where are we going to end? And that is why you see that the political space is being disrupted. So guys, I want you to listen to some of the things Tinubu said in his speech during that meeting.
and Nollywood entertainment sector through active participation in digital economy. We shall make Nigeria a leader instead of a bystander. This is in the fourth industrial revolution. We must target, and we will, I assure you, target growth at very least. We must achieve GDP growth of minimum 6%, if not 10% per annum. Promote agriculture. We shall continue to press reforms in the sector that will increase productivity, improve farm incomes, while lowering food prices and bring enough food to the table of ordinary people. Power. Nigeria, I am determined. They are Nigerians, I am determined, I repeat, to give you the affordable and reliable power you need to drive your businesses in a way that lifts the entire economy and ordinary person. We must produce. We cannot produce without constant electricity. It's crucial. And we have what it takes to bring this electricity to you all. We have the gas, we have the sun, we have the wind, we have the water. What are we waiting for? Therefore, we must produce and buy. We must produce, please note, then buy Nigeria. We see a consumer credit revolution. Work in concert with the banking industry. And I saw many of you here. I am excited, very, very happy indeed. Led by the CBN, we must establish affordable credit that enables the purchase of more cars made in Nigeria. The construction of more homes built in Nigeria. Bring the money home. The standard of living rises and strengthens. The business sector shall increase in so many folds. Build Nigeria. We must continue with the expansion of infrastructure commenced by the current government. From our roads and ports, you've lands of the deep sea port. It took a while. It took strong determination and perseverance for me standing before you here to start the dream and realize the goal of that seaport. Continue the expansion of the infrastructure land and water management. All catchment area must be studied to stem humanitarian and economic tragedy visited on us by seasonal flood. Do we need a back-to-back channelization? Do we need dredging? Regular? We need secondary and primary drainage system. We need reticulation of our farmland. I have saved the most single important point for last. May I conclude with my thought on security. We shall continue to fight against insecurity by redefining our counterinsurgency doctrine and practice. Our response to terror, kidnapping, and violent criminality will be defined by the following elements. We shall enlist more people in the armed forces, security services, and the police. Our forces shall be given better tactical communication mobility as well as improved area and ground surveillance capacity. Through this and other measures, we shall identify, monitor, track, and defeat the evil groups where they are anywhere, small inch of our land. We shall have no respite until they surrender or are ultimately defeated. What I've shared today is a brief overview of some thoughts on how to improve and protect our.
So, guys, I want to tell you that it will be wrong to vote for Tinubu, considering these two major things. There's this trust issue and there is this health issue when it comes to Tinubu becoming the next president of Nigeria. And if you are a patriotic Nigeria, I want you to think twice. Think twice and make your decision. Vote for Peter Obi. Let's vote for people who are still young, who have the strength, whose brain capacity are still strong enough to remember things and to follow up things, So guys, let me know what you think about this video. Drop your comments below. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, share it with your friends and families. Thank you.